Almost 3 years after an FIR was filed against then JNU Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar and others, the Delhi police has filed a 1,200-page charge sheet against 10 people, including Kanhaiya and former student leaders Omar Khalid, Anirban Bhattacharya and others. Names of 36 people have also been included, but the Delhi police admits that there isn't enough evidence against them to initiate a trial. The charge sheet alleges that Kanhaiya Kumar, Omar Khalid and others raised anti-national slogans during an event at the JNU campus in February of 2016. Kanhaiya was arrested on the 12th of February and sent to judicial custody in Tihar jail before being released on bail. And while this case has dominated the headlines since 2016, the use of the sedition law is not new or uncommon. According to the National Crime Records Bureau, 35 cases of sedition were reported across India in 2016, the same year that the JNU saga captured Mindspace. More recently, sedition charges have been filed against 3 people, including Sahitya Academy awardee Dr. Hiren Gohen, for protesting against the Citizenship Amendment Bill, which was cleared by the Lok Sabha in the recently concluded winter session of Parliament. While Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution does guarantee freedom of speech, it is subjected to certain restrictions, which include interests of the sovereignty and integrity of India, the security of the state, friendly relations with foreign states, public order, decency or morality, or in relation to the contempt of court, defamation or incitement to an offence. The offence of sedition is provided under Section 124A of the Indian Penal Code 1860. Now, a Law Commission report in August of 2018 made these interesting observations. The report said, and I quote, "People should be at liberty to show their affection towards their country in their own way," unquote. It also added that constructive criticism of the government cannot be branded as sedition. So when can Section 124A be invoked? The Law Commission report suggests, and I quote verbatim, "only when the intention behind any act is to disrupt public order or to overthrow the government with violence and illegal means." This is also what the Supreme Court has ruled in a previous judgment. With guardrails in place, is the sedition law still being used to suppress dissenting voices? Joining us now to discuss this and more, former president of the JNU Students' Union, Shaila Rashid. Thanks very much for joining us. Shaila, a 1,200-page charge sheet has been presented by the Delhi police today. They have named 36 people where they believe that they don't have enough evidence to initiate a trial. They have named 10 where they are initiating trial against them. That includes Kanhaiya Kumar, Omar Khalid and others for raising anti-India slogans under the sedition law. They believe that they should be tried under the sedition law. Shaila, your first comments.
See, as I have maintained from day one, this is a completely bogus case. This is a completely cooked up controversy. Everyone who has been named, Kanhaiya, Umar, Anirban, I have mentioned from day one that none of them is involved in raising any slogans. I was not even on the campus and my name has been put in. That's how much of a fake case this is. And what that shows is that the government has completely lost face on every issue. The government has completely lost the discourse.
Okay, so you're saying that you were not even present on campus when this alleged sloganeering took place. But let me shift away from events of the 9th of February, Shaila, and talk about the future now. What about political aspirations? There's been a lot of conversation now that Shah Faisal has decided to look at a political career, dropping the IAS and the bureaucracy. There's been a lot of speculation that you yourself, along with Kanhaiya Kumar, are likely to contest the 2019 elections. Kanhaiya Kumar says that this charge sheet is political vendetta. Do you believe that's the case? And also, is a political career an aspiration for you?
See, we were quietly doing our PhDs, we were quietly doing our research, and we were literally like dragged onto the streets by this government. And this did not start in 2016, this started in 2015 when our fellowships were snatched away. So since 2015 till now, we have been continuously on the streets. So if anything, I would credit the government and I would thank the government for making us into these prominent political figures where we were just ordinary students. Now, as far as Kanhaiya is concerned, he has already submitted his PhD. But I'm still doing my PhD, I'm still involved in my research. But one thing that I want to make, that I've already made clear in the past is that I would definitely campaign against the ruling party in the upcoming general elections. Because this government, it has, not only has it failed on all fronts, it has used extreme repression on all marginalized people, be it farmers' protests, be it, the atrocities against Dalits, starting with Rohit Vembula, how our fellow student, he was forced to commit suicide, how a student of JNU, Najib Ahmed, was made to go missing. I don't think we can forget those things. And this government is really detrimental for the interests of this country. This government has broken down our social fabric. This whole menace of mob lynching, which was not there before. This is it's to be credited directly to this government. And I think that on those questions and on farmers' issues and on demonetization, we would remind the people how much how much repression each policy of this government has done.
Shella, I understand the position that you intend to take, but I'm asking you a different question. What is the platform that you intend to take that message across? Do you intend to use the platform of a political party, or do you continue to want to do this independently through a citizens' forum?
Frankly, I haven't made up my mind about joining a political party yet. But I would say that a platform has been created by the government itself because of the repression that it has unleashed on people. There has been a formation of, before 2015, if we had to campaign for fellowships, we would have to go in the general compartment of the train. Now people call us from all over the country and they actually pay for our flights and they call us. So there has been a solidarity formed, there has been a unity of sorts formed across people from all over India. And that platform, it's an informal platform, but it has been created by this government itself, because people are being repressed everywhere. People are being harassed everywhere by this government, by BJP specifically. And that itself has created a citizens' platform of sorts, a progressive citizens' platform of sorts, of which I see myself as a part.
Okay, so Shella, even though you're not named in the 10 people where the Delhi police has, in the charge sheet today, said that a trial should proceed, but your name is there in the 36 where they say that while they don't have enough evidence to proceed with the trial just yet, they do believe that you were part of what transpired in February of 2016. Given this charge sheet, what is your biggest apprehension today?
Honestly, Shireen, ever since this controversy has started, my biggest fear was just one, which was whether I would get coffee in jail or not. But now I've left even coffee, so I've gotten over my caffeine addiction. Literally, I have no fear now.
All right, Shella, appreciate you joining us. Shella Rashid there, not one of the 10 named by the Delhi police where they have said that a trial should be initiated, but named in the 36 where the Delhi police believes that there isn't enough evidence today to initiate a trial. Joining us now to take this discussion forward, Senior Supreme Court Advocate and founder of Human Rights Law Network, Colin Gonsalves, and the President of ABVP at JNU, Vijay Kumar. Thanks very much for joining us. Mr. Gonsalves, let me start by asking you, and I mentioned all of that at the start of the program for the benefit of our viewers. There is a Supreme Court verdict, the Kedarnath judgment. There is what the Law Commission has recommended as the way forward in August of 2018, which basically reiterates what the Supreme Court said in the Kedarnath verdict, that comments, however strongly worded, expressing disapproval of actions of the government without exciting those feelings, would generate the inclination to cause public disorder by acts of violence, would not be penal. What do you specifically make of this matter where a charge sheet has been filed today, but in general about the use or the misuse of the sedition law?
Well, let me say at the outset, there's a lot of confusion about what sedition actually means. And even among our colleagues and friends like the speakers before me, even their understanding may be not exactly correct. The English law was what the police say today. The English law of 100 years ago, namely that if you say something against the crown, which if you say something against Modi, that is sedition. The Indian law took a dramatic turn. Now words themselves are not enough. Words plus armed action in rebellion to overthrow the state. That is to say, you can say anything. You can say, I want a separate state in Assam. It's not sedition. There's a Supreme Court judgment where a Kashmiri came in Srinagar and said, let's have Azad Kashmir. Supreme Court said, did he do anything after that? Did he throw any bombs? Did he distribute arms? It's not sedition. There's the Punjab case of Khalistan, again, where the Supreme Court said it's not sedition. And I heard my colleague said that I didn't shout those slogans against the government. And I want to say, in law, You can merrily shout and say whatever you want. It may be foolish, it may be discomforting for people, but as long as you don't take arms into your hands and distribute it among your friends and do armed struggle against the state, it's not sedition. So they shouldn't go through the trial.
But Mr.
They
Gonzalez,
should move the High Court and then the Supreme Court for quashing. Just let me finish. They should move the High Court and move the Supreme Court for quashing the proceedings, because there's no sedition at all.
Okay, you believe that there is no sedition at all, and that is what the law says. But you know, you raised the issue of Assam, sir, and one of the most recent examples where sedition charge has been filed against three individuals, against the Sahitya Academy winner Hiren Gohain for protesting against the Citizenship Amendment Bill, which was passed in the recently concluded session of Parliament. So while the law says one thing, in practice and reality, charges are being filed under Section 124A.
Yes, because the central government is a big bully, and the central government has, propagated throughout the country that if you speak against the central government, it's sedition. It's not sedition at all. And look at poor Kanhaiya. What did he say? I want Azadi from oppression, Azadi from casteism. And you say that is sedition. The central government is a bully. So we must face that bully and challenge him in the High Court and Supreme Court. And I'm sure all our Assamese friends who made some statements, I don't know what they are, if they go to the High Court, that will be quashed. It's not sedition at all. There's no doubt in my mind.
Okay. You know, but just to play devil's advocate, sir, and I'm reading out from when the bail plea for Kanhaiya Kumar was taken up, and the judge said then that the investigation in this case is at a nascent stage. The thoughts reflected in the slogans raised by some of the students of JNU who organized and participated in that program cannot be claimed to be protected as fundamental right to freedom of expression and speech. I consider this a kind of infection from which such students are suffering, which need to be controlled, cured, before it becomes an epidemic.
See, this is the judge who has lost his sense of legal balance, because he says that these are very wrong statements, foul statements, annoying statements, all stupid statements, anti-national statements. But that's not sedition. An anti-national statement which is not coupled with the use of armed struggle against the state is not sedition. That's the reality of the law. So anyone can make any statement and the judges can get offended. But a judge must keep his legal balance. He must look at Kedarnath Singh's case. He must say that this is not sedition. No, I hate this man for what he is saying. I don't like what he is saying. If I got a chance, I would really scold him. But this is not sedition. I'm sorry, central government. But I can't prosecute him under sedition law. But the trouble is, the judges don't keep a balance. The judges become political.
But Mr. Gonzalez, you know, you're saying the judges become political, and you're saying the law is unambiguous, that none of these cases qualify as being tried under the sedition law. Yet, and I again go back to recent cases, and again I want to point out for the benefit of our viewers that, you know, the law, the sedition law has been used previously by previous governments as well. It's not happening for the first time. Now, if we take a look at the journalist Kishore Chandra Wankhem's case, he was taken into custody by the state police in Imphal under the National Security Act on the 26th of November. He was sentenced to a 12-month jail term, and this was apparently because he condemned the state's chief minister for organizing a function to commemorate the fight for the Rani of Jhansi against the British and linking it to the freedom movement of Manipur. He was then released and was re-arrested by the police and detained again under the NSA. So again, I'm asking you, the law, as you point out, may be unambiguous, but in practice, it's a very different story that's playing out. So what is then the way forward?
Yes, the way forward for this friend of ours from Manipur was to immediately challenge that sedition section. He didn't do that, and I must say our lawyers let him down. They waited and waited and waited, and the law moved slowly. So the matter is being heard now. In the next few days in Imphal, in the Manipur High Court, the application for quashing that charge sheet is going to be heard. The law moves slowly, but the end result, I'm absolutely clear that in the end result, either the Manipur High Court or the Supreme Court is saying this is a ridiculous misuse of power. You criticize the Chief Minister. I mean, are these people God or something? Are these people beyond the law? Are these bullies so terrible in their thinking, anti-people in their thinking, that anybody speaks against them? So thin-skinned. They do all things rotten in the world, and they're so thin-skinned if somebody protests. It's basically an attempt to intimidate society and say, look at that journalist, look at Kanhaiya, look at the Assamese people, don't speak against the government. Don't speak against the government. And they're going to win all their cases. Let me see. Like our friend from Chhattisgarh, that Dr. Binayak sent. I remember when his case came to the Supreme Court, Justice Bedi said, even if I accept your whole charge sheet as correct, Mr. Prosecutor, I'll accept your whole charge sheet. Show me one line which is sedition. Can you imagine? He cut short the argument. Show me one line which is sedition. And then he was granted bail. Political bullying, and we have to stand up to this political bullying.
I want to come back to you and discuss the way forward as was recommended by the Law Commission report of August of 2018. But very quickly, let me also bring in the president of ABVP at JNU, Vijay Kumar. Vijay Kumar, you've been listening in to what Mr. Gonsalves has to say. The Delhi police has now filed this charge sheet in this matter. Your reaction?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to congratulate the students of JNU and the people of India for finally Delhi police, after almost 3 years, are going to have filed charge sheet today. And what Mr. Gonsalves, he was saying, so, sir, with due respect, आप वहाँ पे थे. I was there, and they were not raising slogans against government. Each and every citizen of India, they are supposed to protest against the decision of government, but they were not doing dissent against government. They were celebrating the, they were protesting against the hanging of terrorist Afzal Guru, and they were saying, Bharat ki barbadi tak jang rahegi, Kashmir ki azadi tak jang rahegi. They were not demanding fellowship. They were not demanding jobs.
Vijay Kumar ji.
Yes.
विजय कुमार जी, एक सीधा सा सवाल है सर, जो सवाल रेज कर रही है कन्हैया कुमार भी, कि ये मामला 2016 में हुआ था, एफआईआर फाइल हुई थी, कस्टडी भी हुआ था, जुडिशियल कस्टडी भी हुआ था, बेल भी, जमानत भी मिली थी कन्हैया कुमार और बाकियों को. तो अब 2019 में चार्जशीट कैसे फाइल हो रहा है? अगर इतना एविडेंस था, इतना कंक्लूसिव एविडेंस था दिल्ली पुलिस के पास, तो पहले क्यों नहीं चार्जशीट फाइल हुआ?
इस बात से हम भी हैरान हैं और परेशान हैं कि दिल्ली पुलिस ने 3 साल क्यों लगाया? 3 महीने के अंदर चार्जशीट फाइल करना था. We are also not happy the way Delhi police have done. They have taken almost 3 years to file the charge sheet, and justice delayed is like justice denied. But I have hope in judiciary.
Okay.
And all the people who have done wrong will be face what they have done. And I have full faith in judiciary, and they are going to face what they have done.
Though you're disappointed with the Delhi police as well. So you've got both sides disappointed with the Delhi police. Kanhaiya Kumar and colleagues, and the ABVP is also disappointed with the Delhi police. But Mr. Gonsalves, you know, FIR being filed in 2016, judicial custody in 2016, bail in 2016, and a charge sheet being filed in January of 2019. Will they stand legal scrutiny?
Well, what? Well, delay is part of the criminal justice system. I don't expect anything better from the police, and it's such a simple case in terms of actually were these statements made or not made. But the basic issue is, even if suppose somebody turns around and says, if I'm an accused person, suppose I were to say, you know, so-and-so state should become independent, Kashmir should become Azad, it may be considered an obnoxious statement. But the fundamental question is, you can't charge me for sedition. You can charge me for being a loudmouth. There's no criminal offense in that. You can say horrible things against me. That's also all right. You know, you can do other things, but you can't charge me criminally. Because I've not thrown a bomb at anybody. I've not fired a gun at anybody. I've not done any armed struggle against the state. So there's no criminal offense at all.
Against state. If a government changes every 5 years, but a state remains, Mother India will remain. Okay? So,
yes.
If we are inciting people to take arms, fight against the Mother India, is it not an act of sedition? They are not demanding. They were not demanding
Yes.
for
Sir,
fellowship.
it may
They were
not.
saying,
Let me answer. Let me answer.
sir. They were saying like this.
Sure.
They were saying बंदूक से लेंगे आजादी, लड़के लेंगे आजादी.
Let me answer.
Let him answer. Let Mr. Gonzalez answer. Sure. Okay, let
me
him answer, sir. Go ahead,
sir,
Mr. Gonzalez.
It may be sedition. Sir, it may be sedition, it may not. In the Kashmir case, he said, we Kashmiris should get together, distribute arms, and fight for Azad Kashmir. In the Khalistan case, he said, we should also get arms and fight for Azad Kashmir. तो आपको लगेगा शायद ये तो बहुत बुरी बात है, ऐसा कहना नहीं चाहिए. लेकिन जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट में आया, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने पूछा, ये one second, sir. One second.
Mr.
So when
Kumar,
it came to Supreme Court ने पूछा, ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने पूछा कि ये व्यक्ति तो है जो है शायद बेवकूफ व्यक्ति है, उसने कुछ किया क्या आर्म स्ट्रगल? नहीं किया साहब, तो एक्विट हो गया. खालिस्तान का केस जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट में आया, सेम क्वेश्चन सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने पूछा, हैज ही टेकन टू आर्म्स अगेंस्ट द स्टेट? नो सर, नो लॉर्डशिप, ही हैज नॉट टेकन टू आर्म्स. Then he is acquitted under sedition law. तो आपको खराब लगा होगा शायद सर.
Right.
Viewpoints are different. I understand. You feel bad. You feel angry. But sir, the law is like that. It is not sedition. That is the basic point. I understand your anger. I understand your feeling. आपको लगता है कि हमारा देश को बदनाम किया, हमारा स्टेट को बदनाम किया, हमारा स्टेट को तोड़ने का कोशिश किया. लेकिन कुछ स्टेप
Yes. Well, we'll know when now that the charge sheet has been filed. We'll know what position.
लेकिन सर,
we'll see what the court has to say.
Sedition नहीं है.
That according to Mr. Gonzalez, is the law as laid down by the Supreme Court in its judgment, Kedarnath versus Union of India. And these are also the recommendations of the Law Commission report put forward in August of 2018, which basically goes on to say, and I'm quoting from the report, berating the country or a particular aspect of it cannot and should not be treated as sedition. If the country is not open to positive criticism, there lies a difference between the pre- and post-independence eras. Right to criticize one's own history, the right to offend are rights protected under free speech. While it's essential to protect national integrity, it must not be misused. Mr. Gonzalez and Vijay Kumar, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18 on the political exchange to decode India's sedition law.
पहला सवाल मेरा ये है कि आप यहाँ आए, आपने तमाम मुद्दे उठाए, डोमेस्टिक पॉलिटिक्स के भी मुद्दे उठाए, इंटरनेशनल पॉलिटिक्स के भी. आपने कहा सहिष्णुता देश में बढ़ रही है, आपने कहा रोजगार नहीं है. अब बीजेपी की तरफ से कहा जा रहा है कि राहुल गांधी विदेश में जाते हैं, छवि देश की खराब करते हैं, नौटंकी करते हैं. और राहुल गांधी प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा कि जो लोग इमरजेंसी लगाए वो लोग असहिष्णुता की बात करते हैं.
देखिए, हिंदुस्तान की छवि, हिंदुस्तान का फाउंडेशन इतना मजबूत है कि उसको कोई डिस्टर्ब नहीं कर सकता है. मुझसे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में सवाल पूछा जाता है बेरोज़गारी के बारे में, मुझसे सवाल पूछा जाता है भ्रष्टाचार, राफेल के बारे में. अब मुझे जवाब तो देना ही पड़ेगा. मैं ये तो नहीं कह सकता हूँ कि भाई मैं आपको जवाब नहीं दूंगा. मोदी जी घर बैठ जाते हैं, पार्लियामेंट हाउस में आते नहीं हैं, डर जाते हैं, राफेल से डरते हैं. तो मैं तो जवाब देता हूँ. सवाल आप पूछते हो, जो आप मुझसे पूछते हो उसका जवाब मैं देता हूँ. सच्चाई है कि हिंदुस्तान में भ्रष्टाचार बढ़ता जा रहा है. नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने अनिल अंबानी जी को 30,000 करोड़ रुपए दिए हैं. सच्चाई है कि बेरोजगारी बढ़ती जा रही है. पूरा हिंदुस्तान जानता है, हर युवा जानता है. किसी से भी आप पूछिए, किसी भी युवा से पूछिए, भैया क्या करते हो, कहते कुछ नहीं करते हैं. तो ये तो सच्चाइयाँ हैं, और सच्चाई बताने से किसी को कमज़ोर नहीं किया जाता है.